Calling the Ordinance Committee meeting for August 8th to order. Please call the roll.
Councilors Tillotson. Crumpets.
Here.
Dobos.
Here.
Labrie.
Here.
Roy.
And Councilor Tillotson may participate later via Zoom. He has a family commitment. He's on Zoom then, so he is participating. So, and Councilor Roy is not in attendance tonight. Let's see. Councilor Tillotson is participating via Zoom. And also present is our administrative assistant, Carla, Councilor Mary Beth Piniac Costello, Councilor Del Marina Lopez, City Council President, Councilor Franklin Lamb, Attorney Tim Riley, and then also participating in the audience is the Mayor's Chief of Staff, Mike Pease, and then the Director of Human Resources, Mr. Zachowski, and anyone else here? Oh, and our City Engineer, Doug Ellis. Thank you. All right. And in compliance with the open meeting laws, the City of Chicopee is recording this meeting. Is anyone else in the audience video or audio taping this meeting? If so, please state your name and organization. And no one has acknowledged that they're recording the meeting. And we are now going to proceed to item 1. Item 1, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule parking regulations as follows: Meeting House Road, odd side from the intersection of Chicopee Street and Meeting House Road, all the way to the beginning of the driveway of Stefanik School, directly across from the intersection of Elcon Drive and Meeting House Road. This order was filed by Councilor Lopez, so I'll let her comment on it.
So I don't know why the comments that were issued for this one don't include it, but the verbiage was changed. I'm going to look at the meeting minutes from the last one, or unless City Engineer Douglas has the verbiage that he had suggested. I know you had changed the verbiage so it was consistent with the other ordinances.
Yeah, this wording was what was on the agenda. I have no issue with that. For item 1. And on item 2, it had been changed last time around.
I thought the verbiage had changed for both of them.
Can I?
According to your comments for the last one. Liz, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
Mr. Tisa.
So I'm looking at the language on item number 1 and number 2, right? So I think that for item number 1, it should actually say no parking prohibited from Chicopee Street all the way to Meadow Street, because item 2 only talks about no stopping or standing. So we should be extending the no parking all the way to Meadow Street. So from Chicopee, odd side of Meeting House Road, from Chicopee, the intersection of Chicopee Street to the intersection of Meadow Street. And then item 2 will address the no stopping and standing.
Found the verbiage that I believe.
It's hard for me to hear. Sorry.
I'm sorry. There was verbiage that City Engineer Doug Ellis had proposed with his comments last time that I think fixed that issue. So I think he said that so number 1 should be the proposed ordinance be revised to a distance of 25 feet from Broadway, which is approximately the same. Nope, this is the wrong one. I think
you're reading the wrong one.
Yep, the next one. So it's, thought you had proposed specific verbiage, Doug.
What Liz is saying now, and I think what she's saying works better for for just having the entire street, since the item 2 only deals with the no stopping or standing. So if we have the no parking, item 1 being from Chicopee Street to Meadow Street, then that'll cover it.
On Meeting
And then-
House Road. Okay.
Counselor
Yes.
Lopez, then the signs would still work. We would just put, so for item 2, that the signs within that ordinance will just say all 3. It'll say no parking, no stopping, no standing.
But it'll still just be one sign, correct?
Sorry, what's that?
It'll still just be one sign, right? Like, I don't
Yeah,
necessarily
of
think
course. Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, not multiple signs. No, it's just that
Okay.
the no parking will cover the whole side of the street. And that way it's just clean like that. And then we'll just separate out the no stopping, no standing. It'll be on the same side of the no parking, but that ordinance will just apply from Meadow Street to, I'm not sure if that's 540 feet, if that brings you to, so the thing that was just stuck out to me is that item number 1 was only originally up to the Stefanik School driveway, but when we were out there, Counselor Lopez, you had wanted to extend it to where that bus stop sign is, so address 139, 145, where that apartment complex is on that side of the street. And I'm not sure if the 540 feet, because I don't have a scale on me, would take you to that address. Because when we were out there, so the plan that I provided.
I don't want no stop. I didn't want no stopping or standing on that side. I thought we had discussed that wouldn't have been wise. That it was wise to leave no stopping or standing from the driveway to the end of Meadow.
Yes, but if you read the item number 1, it's referencing the driveway to Stefanik School across from Elcon Drive. Now, Elcon Drive is kind of like in the middle of where you wanted those signs. So I just want to make sure that the 540 feet, I don't think that's an accurate distance anymore.
Yeah, if the no standing or stopping was continued from the driveway to those apartments, 139, 145, that 540 should be increased to 920 feet. If that's, so along the fields?
Yeah, so I would just reference the no stopping, no standing up to the address 139, 145. If that's even something
So
we
you
can
want to
do.
extend it past the field?
Right, remember when we were out there, you wanted the signs all the way to that.
I mean, I'll take it. That wasn't necessarily what I was saying, but I'm happy to take that. Sure.
This is.
I mean, you
this
want
is-
them along the field?
Sure. I mean, the biggest issue was from the driveway down to Meadow Street. If we want to do them along the field, just to keep it on both sides of the school, that's fine by me as well. What I was saying was I wanted more coverage. I wanted more coverage on that side, but I wasn't necessarily saying that I needed no stopping or standing on that side.
Oh.
Although it doesn't hurt, right? Because parents could line up on that side now that we have signs on the other, so it actually might make more sense.
Yeah, when we
have
were
it
out there,
along.
that's what you had said. You were concerned that the parents would build up that far down. Because that, even though it looks like on here that it's really far, but it really wasn't that far when we were out there.
Yeah. It's, the graphic is misleading a little.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think,
fine. I'm fine. I'm happy to, I did say that it was a concern that they would now start parking along that
Yeah.
side. So I'm happy to change the measurements so that it goes all the way through until the apartment, so that they can't line up on either side. That's fine by me. But I would
And
like to
that's-
still, so that we can we just propose those changes on the floor then when we get the right measurements, rather than keep postponing this?
yeah, I think, Doug, what was the measurement?
Yeah, so the 540 we just increased to 920 feet. And that would bring you all the way to 139, 145, those apartments
So you had already measured.
on the south. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so then that's fine. That's a friendly amendment for me.
Okay. To our attorney, well, when you mean, updated on the floor, do you mean tonight or at the next city council
We have the
meeting?
measurement. I didn't know we had the measurements for that. Doug went out and did it before the meeting, so that,
Oh.
now that we have it, I'm happy to do it now.
Okay, all right, okay. So what, should the?
So item number
ordinance
1 should read, no parking on the odd side of the road from the intersection of Chicopee Street and Meeting House Road and Meadow Street and Meeting House Road. That entire odd side is no parking.
be- Okay. odd side from the intersection of Chicopee Street and Meadow Street to,
Chicopee Street and Meeting House Road.
Fred, you can actually write just, the entire length of Meeting House
I was-
Road, odd side.
I was just gonna suggest that, yeah. You just say entire length and
okay.
it covers it.
Odd side from the intersection of Chicopee Street and Meeting House Road all the way to Meeting Route.
I mean, I guess they're proposing to shift the language, so
Chicopee-
it's
no,
just
wait, to-
all of Meeting House Road.
Yeah, you could
So
just
the
say
outside of-
Meeting House Road, odd side, entire length.
Okay. Oh, odd side of Meeting House Road, entire length, okay.
The reason why it's broken up the way it is that originally we had some concerns about there being multiple signs.
Hmm.
We didn't want two signs on a post that didn't make sense, so we had to split it up so that the ones that were no parking, no standing, no stopping received one sign. But the signage, regardless of how the ordinance is written, DPW can still put it all on one sign. That's why we're now proposing to shift it so that it's all Meeting House Road, no parking, and then for the 920 feet from Chicopee and Meadow to the end of the field, essentially, that's gonna be no parking, no standing, no stopping.
Okay, so this, before we get to public input, I haven't forgotten about that. So it's gonna be revised to say, odd side of Meeting House Road, entire length.
Yes.
Parking prohibited.
Yeah,
Parking for-
parking
Parking
prohibited.
prohibited. Thank you, yes. Is there anyone here for public input on, item number 1 about the, no parking for Meeting House Road? Okay, can I have a motion to close public input? Is there any, I'm sorry, is there anyone on Zoom, for public input? Anybody on Zoom for public input?
Motion to close public input.
Seconded. Please call the roll to close public input.
Councilors Tillotson? Crumpets?
Yes.
Phobos?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes.
Roy?
Motion to approve the amended order.
Seconded. Motion to approve the amended order, which I'll just read it into the record again, just to be sure. Parking prohibited, odd side of Meeting House Road, entire length, parking prohibited. Are any other questions from the committee? Questions from anyone outside of the committee? Questions from anyone on Zoom? Okay, can I have, I second the motion to approve and then take its, reading tonight. Please call the roll.
Councilors Tillotson? Crumpets?
Yes?
Phobos?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes.
Roy?
That's okay.
Jim didn't answer,
Right, and Counselor Tillotson is out of chair on Zoom. So it's been approved, 3 in favor, 0 against. That'll be at our next city council meeting next month. Let me just put the date on. Okay, item number 2, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule, other, no stopping or standing, Meeting House Road, south / odd side from Meadow Street to a point 540 feet westerly thereof, no stopping or standing. And Councilor Lopez filed this order, so I'll let her speak on it.
Thank you. So I would just like to amend it to 920 feet instead of 540 feet.
Okay,
And it doesn't need any further amendments than that.
okay.
Okay.
Doug, do you have any other
Nope,
comments on this?
that's
Okay.
what we need to do.
Anyone from, is there anyone for public input on, this order? Anyone for public input here? Anybody for public input on Zoom for this order? One for public input on Zoom for this order?
Thank you,
Close
Liz
public
and Doug.
input. Oh, you're welcome. Can I have a roll call to close public input, please?
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Dobos,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Approve the amended order.
Seconded to motion to approve the amended order. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Dobos,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes. Keep reminding me. Remember by the end of the meeting. And the order has been approved, 3-0, with Counselor Tillotson on Zoom out of chair.
Motion to take item number 7 out of order, please.
Motion to second taking item number 7 out of order. Please call the roll. Or take item
Councilors,
7 out of order.
Councilors Tillotson, Crumpets,
Yes.
Dobos,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes. Okay, item number 7. Be it ordained by the City Council that the code of the City of Chicopee for the year of 1991 as amended and is hereby further amended as follows. Delete chapter 275-66 in its entirety and insert in place thereof, 275-66A Burnett Road. No further business, commercial, or industrial development shall occur on Burnett Road from the Ludlow-Chicopee line to the intersection of New Lombard Road and Burnett Road, and any opportunate street for a period of 1 year commencing on April 1st, 2023 and terminating on April 1st, 2024, except by special permit. This order was filed by Councilor Dobis, so I'll let him speak on it.
Thank you. It'll be very, very brief. This is the Burnett Road moratorium, or as it's called. Basically, this just gives the City Council an additional tool, kind of have resident input in development on Burnett Road. This allowed us to kind of negotiate with the Tesla dealership, and they did work with us, right? They have the size of their original proposal development, and so this is important because it doesn't stop development on Burnett Road, but it does allow the City Council and the public to kind of negotiate with the developer and make sure that there's a smart development in the neighborhood. I'm in favor of this tonight. Sam Shumsky, who's running unopposed for Ward 6 City Council, he is in favor of this moratorium tonight. If the council under the zoning committee voted it down, it's really only hurting the incoming city councilor. If he decides not to renew it next year, that's between him and his constituents. But I don't want to throw him into the fire, so to speak, right? I think it's important for Shumsky, because next year when he gets on the city council, he's going to want to have that, first couple of months to be able to, work with the developers so that, development doesn't just get ramrodded through right when he takes office. So I hope the committee kind of takes that into consideration. And the only other thing I want to say is I'm probably going to amend it. I'd like to amend it instead of April 1st to April 1st. I'd probably want to amend it to maybe August to August or something like that, because it took us so long to get this on the agenda, so maybe I'd like to make a motion to amend that to, well, actually, to our attorney. Can I make it from April 1st, 2023 to, maybe August of 24 instead of April? I know it's a little more than a year, or is that not?
Years. I think a year is what you should be.
So it has to be a
I
year?
think it's stick with a year. Yeah.
Okay. To our attorney, can I make it from August 1st, 2023 to August 1st, 2024?
Yes.
I'd probably, like to amend it, to say August 1st, 2023 to August 1st, 2024. So that way, he's got at least the first half of the year, as the incoming city councilor, that this is in place and that he can work on what he wants, the long-term vision for Burnett Road. But this gives a little bit longer, for Ward 6 residents and for the,
Through the attorney.
Councilor Lopez.
Attorney, for anything between April and August that we may have had to see on the city council for zoning, or anything that may be outstanding between that time, does that affect it? Because then there's basically no coverage during that time.
No, is there any? I don't know of any. So no, it's not effective between. I mean, the best practice would be to keep it April to April. But I understand Councilor DeBose's.
I understand too. I just want to make
because
sure
we're in
that there's
August.
nothing that may
But
be
yeah, if there was an application made in that time, then you don't have this moratorium. It doesn't exist. I don't know if any were made. I couldn't tell you. You'd have to ask planning or.
So if one was made during that time and hasn't come before us yet, does it affect it?
Yeah, you don't have a moratorium for those months.
Just keep it as is with.
I mean, you can always come back and you can go April to April, then come back in April. I mean, it's not.
That's fine, I'll leave it April to April then, that's fine. Yeah, just in case, yeah, I appreciate that, yeah. In the 4 or 5 months, I think is valid or.
Okay, so we're keeping it from April 1st, 2023 to April 1st, 2024. I just want to read in some comments from the planning director. He is out of town at a conference and is not able to attend tonight, but he said that we could read in some of the information he provided to the zoning subcommittee. Let's read this from the minutes. Lee Pouliot explained that Massachusetts zoning allows municipalities to develop zoning ordinances that are termed zoning moratoriums. They are meant to be temporary pauses in development so that the communities can address emergency situations with new regulations in a specified period of time. He explained the planning staff and the planning board are not opposed to the use of more tools. They're opposed to a permanent ban. The Burnett Road moratorium is specific to addressing the negative impact of increasing traffic. This moratorium has been in place for 24 years. He stated that the city cannot have a permanent ban on development by right uses. He presented the committee with a map showing the parcels affected by the proposed ordinance. 460 parcels that are either front on Burnett Road or connect to Burnett Road. If the residential parcels are deleted, then there are 42 parcels impacted by this ordinance. A majority of those parcels are already developed and are not developable. Lee stated that if the issue is traffic, then money should be spent on enforcement and street design versus adding this extra question in a use by right. So those were comments from our planning director, Pouliot. So I'm now going to open this item up to public input. If anybody is here for public input, please come to the microphone to speak on this issue. And just please state your name and address. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Susan LaPlante. I live at 71 Angela Drive in Chicopee. I've lived there in the Vernon Road area since 1965. My parents bought a home there. I bought a home there. My son and his family bought a home there. It's a great area to grow up in. I am completely against them taking away the moratorium from Vernon Road. It's very important. We have a huge traffic issue that no one has dealt with in 24 years. I understand Mr. Pouliot saying we shouldn't have the moratorium. Why isn't something being done to help the traffic? Until they want to do something to help the flow of traffic on Burnett Road, that moratorium should stay. It's an issue for the people who live on that area and have to travel that road every day. I love that area. I don't want to leave that area, but I don't want the traffic getting any worse. We haven't been against businesses coming up. We work with Tesla. We worked with the condo company. We worked with Williams. Truck stop, different story. That had nothing to do with the moratorium. The moratorium wasn't there, had nothing to do with that parcel of land. I'm not against business. People aren't against business. We just want a safe area to stay in. And I'm hoping you reconsider and do not change this moratorium. Please keep it in place for the area residents of Burnett Road, who it's very important to. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, I'm David Amor. I live on 72 Fairway Drive. I'm all in favor of having this moratorium in place for another year. It's very obvious that Lee Pouliot and the planning department do not want us to have a moratorium. They have made it very clear. We're doing this year by year. So for the city planner to come to you people and say, we have a permanent moratorium, he's all wet. This moratorium is just for a year. And I've checked with leaders down in Boston, and we are definitely within our right as long as we do a moratorium for year to year. If you did a permanent moratorium, that's one thing. But year to year, there's nothing wrong with it. And because the city planner doesn't want us to have a moratorium, guess what? He doesn't live up there. He doesn't even pay taxes in the city. The citizens of Ward 6 are vehemently opposed to not having a moratorium. We want it. We've come to meeting after meeting after meeting and have told you people we want this moratorium. So we please ask you your consideration and renewing this moratorium for another year. Thank you.
Anyone else for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input?
Hello.
Anyone on Zoom for?
Yes,
Go ahead, please state your name and address.
Yes, my name's Glenn LaPlante. I live at 71 Angela Drive, Chicopee, Mass. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I just want to just piggyback on a couple of things. First of all, everyone on that ordinance committee is a city councilor, and your job as a city councilor is to represent the people in your ward. Those are the people that elected you. Our city councilor, Derek Dobaz, is basically behind this moratorium as the people that live here. So I believe that's very important. It's not as important what a planning board person says about a moratorium. First of all, the moratorium protects not only the city, but it protects the residents. So you as city councilors know that if you were representing that area and dealing with the same problems, that you would be for a moratorium in your ward too, I'm sure of it. I believe that Derek Dobaz has requested this. It's only for 1 year. If it comes up next year and it has to be voted on again next year, we'll deal with it next year. But I believe the moratorium is there for a reason. I believe back when the moratorium was put in place, there was specific wording in that, and it's duly said that until the city takes correction of the traffic problems on Burnett Road. Well, guess what? In 20-something years, it hasn't happened. They've relied upon McDonald's coming into the area or anybody that wanted to build to anything to do with any type of traffic resolutions up here. The city has done nothing. So based on that alone, that moratorium should still stay in effect until something is done. So I would like to see the moratorium stay in effect. And, I would like the city councilors to basically back Derek Dovaz as city councilors yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on Zoom for public input? Anyone else on Zoom for public input? Can I have a motion to close public input? Motion and seconded to close public input. Please call the roll.
Counselor Tillotson? Crumpets?
Yes.
Philbos?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes. Does anyone on the committee have any questions? Okay, anyone outside the committee have any questions? Sure, Councilor Lopez.
Thank you. I just would like to state on the record that I fully support this moratorium, as we call it. It's not actually a moratorium. It's just another mechanism for the council to be able to oversee the development that happens, and it only affects a couple parcels of land. This is not, it's not like we're asking for the entire city to go through another, to jump through another hoop. It's very necessary in this area. The residents, I've spoken to a lot of the residents in that area, and they all, every single resident I've spoken to has supported it. So we should absolutely do what the residents in that area are asking. This is not a huge ask, and it's been in place for years, and it's worked. It was the only mechanism that actually allowed us to negotiate with Tesla the way we did. And if you ask Tesla, they're actually very happy that that mechanism was there. And I've spoken to some of them, some of the reps from Tesla, because they're actually able to be good neighbors in that neighborhood and communicate with the residents. So as counselors, we should definitely support this, and I fully support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who wants to speak on this? Counselor, go ahead. Counselor
I
Costello.
appreciate the residents' perseverance for constantly coming down here in regards to one issue or another in Ward 6. But traffic is a legitimate issue, and they have legitimate concerns, not only in Ward 6, but in my ward as well. Traffic is a problem. We can't ignore it. We say, okay, we can minimize traffic because traffic is always there. No, we fix it. But before we fix it, we can't put more strain on the taxpayer and the residents. Time to put residents before anything else. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, can I have, anything you want to say, Gary, or no? Oh, okay. Can I have a motion, please?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Counselor Tillotson? Crumpets?
Yes.
Philbos?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes. And the moratorium has been approved for another year, and just to make sure we're all on the same page, to clarify, it is still from April 1st, 2023 to April 1st, 2024, so. Oh, I'm sorry, it was approved by the subcommittee this evening, it needs to go before the full city council, for a vote, but I wanted to make sure that, we discussed about having our August 1st, and I wanted to make sure it was clear that it was still April 1st, not August, so that's what I meant. Thank you, Councilor Laflamme. Okay. Those 7, okay, we're gonna go to item number 3. Back to item number 3 on the agenda. Be it ordained by the city of Chicopee be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Isolated stop sign and signal lights, as follows. Dorothy Street, intersection of Dorothy Avenue and Prospect Street, isolated stop sign. And this was filed by Councilor Piniac Costello, so I'll let her speak on it.
Some residents have indicated to me that at one point there was a stop sign at the intersection of Dorothy Avenue and Prospect Street. And like it says in the agenda, it's an isolated stop sign. So basically what I'm looking for is to put it back up. Prospect Street is a busy street. There's a lot of traffic in the sense that it's used as a cut-through from James Street to Memorial Drive. And it's also used as a traffic flow from James Street to go into Memorial Drive to go into CVS. So there's traffic, that's an issue. It's primarily a residential area. New families are moving in, they're younger, they have children. Many residents have indicated that we have to start looking at stop signs because of the increase of traffic. So I can turn it over now, I guess, through the chair to Doug and have him explain what the engineering perspective is.
Hearing Superintendent.
Yeah, the stop sign, this is, at the end, the south end of Dorothy Ave, as you turn onto Prospect Street, should have a stop sign. So I did suggest some revised wording, just to be consistent with how we usually do them.
It doesn't have,
There's no stop sign there now.
Okay. But, yeah, so it didn't have an ordinance back in the day?
But if I may, I spoke to Doug, I spoke to many people, and believe it or not, there was a stop sign there.
There was a sign, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess that was just one of those things. Thank you.
It's a lot of those things.
Yeah.
Councilor Costello, did you want to amend your order so that it reads what the superintendent had mentioned about traveling south at the intersection of Prospect Street? Or,
Yes, please.
okay.
Yeah, that language is wonderful. Again, we can always depend on Engineer Ellis.
Is there anyone for public input on this issue? Is there anyone for public input on Zoom for this item on the agenda? On Zoom for this item?
Motion to close public input.
Seconded to close public input. Please call the roll.
Counselor Tillotson? Crumpets?
Yes?
Philbos?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes.
And I guess, can I have a motion to amend the order so
Yeah.
that it reads?
I'll make a motion to accept the amended item.
Okay, seconded to accept the amended item. Please call the roll.
Counselors Tillotson? Crumpets?
Yes.
Philbos?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes.
Okay, and now a motion to actually accept, to approve the amended item.
Motion approved.
Second, the motion to approve the amended ordinance. Please call the roll.
Counselors Tillotson? Crumpets?
Yes.
Philbos?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes.
And the ordinance has been approved 3-0. And this will go before the full city council at our first meeting in September.
Thank you.
Item number 4, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: parking regulations, Chapel Street, traveling west, in parentheses, even side, 25 feet from the intersection of York Street in both directions. Parking prohibited here to corner. And this order was filed by Councilor Labrie, so I'll ask him to speak on it.
Yes, I'd like to amend it to read, instead of traveling west even side, north even side. So take out traveling north.
Take out traveling northwest, traveling west and put north in?
Yeah. And he has just even in parentheses. And this is for a dangerous corner that's used quite often by the church, but 3 neighbors, 3 residents happened to call me within 5 minutes of each other because there's a 3-family in the area, and the 3rd floor tenant has 4 vehicles. So it really clogged up that intersection. So I've got to spread it out a little bit so there's not a tragic accident there.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent Ellis, did you want make any additional comments on this?
No, Councilor Labrie did the revised wording that I suggested, so.
Okay, thank
As far as
you.
the north even side, yeah.
Is there anyone here for public input on this item? Anyone from public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone? Okay, anyone for public input on Zoom? Okay, can I have a motion to close public input?
Motion to close public input.
Seconded. Motion to close public input, please call the roll.
Councilors Tillotson,
Yes.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Dobos,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes. And a motion to approve the amended item,
Oh, I'm
number
sorry.
4.
Yep. Seconded to approve the amended ordinance. Please call the roll.
Councilors Tillotson,
Yes.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Dobos,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And the order was approved 4-0 with Councilor Tillotson voting via Zoom. This will go before the full city council at our first full city council meeting in September for final approval. Okay. Be it ordained that Be it ordained that Chapter 7 of the ordinances for the city of Chicopee as amended be and is hereby further amended as follows. Human Resources, Group 2, add Benefits Coordinator number 2 for a salary of $52,388.72, grade A. Said ordinance to be effective August 1st, 2023. If all those that are here for this item can come up to the table, if you're interested, or okay, thank you. And if you could just introduce yourselves and discuss why you want the ordinance.
Sure. I'll go ahead. I'd like to thank the committee for meeting tonight. My name is Steve Zahowski. I'm your HR director for the city. I'm also here with Karen Gay, who's our benefits coordinator. She's been with us since April, doing a great job. As we stated at the council meeting earlier in August, we're dealing with over 4,100 participants in our benefits plan between retirees, dependents, and city employees with school and city side. And that is a lot of work for one person to have to handle. So we're asking for a second benefits coordinator to help us better manage that process and be able to get that process happening.
Okay, all right.
I believe the committee had asked me to appear as well. The mayor's office is strongly in favor of adding the second position. The workload is just, it requires now the.
Ready? Thank you. Is there anyone here for public input that wishes to speak on this item? Seeing anyone here for public input? Anybody for public input on Zoom? From the public on Zoom.
Motion to close public input.
Second, to close public input, please call the roll.
Counselor Tillotson?
Yes.
Crumpets?
Yes.
Dobos?
Out of chair.
Labrie?
Yes.
Sorry, you didn't hear me when I was saying out of chair. That's why you didn't hear. So. Is there any questions from anyone on the committee?
Right.
Well, let me just make sure we do the committee first. Anyone on the committee from Zoom? Councilor Tillotson, do you have any questions?
No, I think it's been answered.
Okay, all right, thank you. Anyone outside the committee? Councilor Laflamme?
Yeah, thank you. I'm in favor of this position tonight, and we'll vote on our full meeting. I think it's important that we give the resources needed, especially for benefits, which is with all the requirements that are state requirements and federal requirements, and it changes. It's a consistent changing of employees that come through the city and new employees. So I'm in favor of this, and to give them the tools to work with and the resources they need from staffing. So thank you.
Anyone else? Councilor Costello?
Thanks. I'm in favor of this as well. I think the insurance has to be improved of how we handle it. Getting another resource as far as an employee will help, especially in regards to a controversial issue in regards to the insurance, and that's reconciliation. So this is definitely long overdue. Probably should have been done before now, but at least it's starting now, and it can help improve the situation that we're in. Thank you.
Okay, Councilor Labrie?
Yeah, I'm definitely for this. This is a much needed position in that office.
Anyone else? Can I have a motion, please? Oh, I'm sorry, Councilor Tillotson?
Ditto. I agree. It's long overdue.
Oh, okay, all right. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion approved.
Motion to approve.
Seconded. And seconded to approve the new position. Please call the roll.
Counselor Tillotson?
Yes.
Crumpets?
Yes.
Dobos?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes.
Okay, and the position has been approved by the subcommittee 4-0 with Councilor Tillotson voting via Zoom. This will go before the full city council at our September meeting for approval. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Be it ordained by the city of Chicopee that the code of the city of Chicopee for the year 1991 as amended be and is hereby further amended as follows. Chapter 275-9, at the end of 275-9, section F, notwithstanding anything to the contrary, a special permit granted under Chapter 275, Section 67, Mill Conversion and Commercial Center Overlay District shall lapse in a period of 1 to 3 years as determined by the city council, including such time required to pursue or wait termination of any appeal from the grant if a substantial use has not sooner commenced except for good cause, or in the case of a permit for construction, if construction has not begun by such a date, except for good cause. Following such lapse, the rights for the special permit may be established only after a notice and a new hearing as specified in section 275-10 has been undertaken. Councilor Flam filed this. Oh, okay. I can speak on this briefly. Basically, this was had gone through the zoning committee because at the time it was only the special permit was only good for 1 year, and many applicants needed more than 1 year to get financing to go forward with their projects. There was, discussion back and forth between various counselors on, splitting it down the middle, doing 2 years. And a consensus was reached for basically for it to be a period of 1 to 3 years, with that time frame being voted on or selected by the city council, whether they wanted 1, 2, or 3 years as part of the condition of the special permit. I don't see Councilor Flam, so Councilor Debris.
Yeah, I definitely agree with this. Being on zoning, we get so many applicants coming back to renew it. And, I would, I'd like to see 2, but there is 3 there. I don't know why we would grant it. If somebody came in for a special permit and wanted to build something and they go, hey, I need 3 years, I would be a little leery if they know right off the bat that they're not going to get the financing within 3 years. But, so I can see the 2 constantly. And if somebody, proposes something where they got to do this to get that, and 3 seems, it's just a good idea to have an option there. But it's our option. It's not the applicant's option.
Okay, all right. Is there anyone for public input? Don't see anyone here for public input. Is there anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Can I have a motion to close public input?
Motion to close public input.
Motion seconded to approve closing public input. Please call the roll.
Counselor Tillotson?
Yes.
Crumpets?
Yes.
Philbos?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes.
And public input has been closed. Is there anyone on the committee that has any additional questions or comments? Councilor Dobis?
I'm sorry, so this is, this passes, this will allow the city council to decide if they get 1 year or 3 years.
2 or 3.
1, 2, or 3, but
Right.
the council decides that. at the
Correct.
time.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, I'm good. I just want to understand it, thank you.
Councilor Costello?
Yeah, I supported this. It makes sense. Gives the council some say in regards to time limits. And we didn't have that kind of input before. So I think this is a step in the right direction.
Okay, thank you. Are there any counselors on Zoom that have any questions? Any counselors on Zoom that have any questions or comments?
Yes,
Counselor Tillotson, go ahead.
This way here, we can't hold up the property beyond the 3 years. So that, if they can't generate the money in that time period, then their permit will be invalid, and someone else will have an opportunity to purchase the property and move forward with a project. So I think it's a good idea, because otherwise the land could get tied up for quite a while while someone's trying to figure out a way to reach the money that they need in order to move forward. Thank you.
If I may, I believe that if, once it goes past whatever is approved by the city council for that special permit, it has to go back for the applicant to reapply. I don't think that the person's automatically rejected. I believe they have to basically start the process again if it goes beyond the period of time that we granted, or unless they come in and say they wish to extend it. So would that be to our attorney? Is that correct?
So I wasn't following you. Could you say that again, Councilor Krampus?
So the way I read the ordinance is that that if we, let's say, tell the applicant they have 2 years to get their financing together, and that if the 2 years expires, they would have to come back and essentially file for a new special permit and start the process all over again.
Yes. They'd have to refile, yeah, they'd have to file again.
Okay, all right, but the applicant does have the right to file for a special permit.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to clarify that, so thank you.
It's not a renewal, through the chair, the attorney. It wouldn't be a renewal. It would be a new license again.
Yeah, or it depends on, it honestly, it doesn't matter. It's just a new license. It's a new terms. You have to keep reapplying. Developers wanted a 3-year because sometimes it's hard for them to get financing in 1 or 2.
Right.
So the developer, I guess, one of the developers have been here. So yeah, you can look at it as a renewal, or you can look at it as a new special permit. It's the same.
Either way.
Same
Okay.
terms.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, motioned, seconded to approve. Please call the roll.
Counselor Tillotson?
Yes.
Crumpets?
Yes.
Philbos?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes.
Oh, I think I did. Yeah, I asked for public input on this, and we closed it, right?
Close it,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
There's no one here on Zoom or in person.
Right, there wasn't, but I just wanted to make sure we followed the formality, because I was pretty sure, so. But I've been known to have lapses every once in a while. Rely on.
Rather be safe than sorry. Okay.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you, Derek. Okay, and the ordinance was approved 4-0 with Councilor Tillotson voting in favor via Zoom. And this will go before the full city council at our first September meeting. Okay, all right. Item number 8. Be it ordained by the city council that the code of the city of Chicopee for the year 1991 as amended be and is hereby further amended as follows. Delete sections 275-41 home occupation, sections 275-52B, subsection 11. Also delete section 275-53B, subsection 12. Also delete 275-54, section B, subsection 1, subsection I, and insert thereof into section 188-2, home occupation license. A special license from the city council is required for a home occupation. Special license requests require immediate abutter notifications, legal advertisement, a public hearing, a fee as set by the city council, and a yearly renewal. Applications may be obtained and filed in the city clerk's office. Councilor Laflamme filed this. Basically, this is to, this has been sitting in the ordinance, in the zoning, section of our ordinances, and really, since this is a license, it really should be in our license, section of our ordinances. So this is basically taking the whole section, lock, stock, and barrel from, zoning and placing it into license. So nothing's changing, it's simply just cut and paste is probably the best way to describe it, from one section, to another. So, is there anyone here for public input on this item? And no one is here for public input. Is anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? I don't see anyone on Zoom for public input. Can I have a motion to close public input?
Motion to close public input.
Second motion to close public input. Please call the roll.
Counselor Stillson?
Yes.
Crumpets?
Yes.
Dobos? Labrie?
Yes.
Okay, public input is closed. Is there anyone on the committee that has any questions on this order? Okay, is there any counselors on Zoom that have any questions or comments on this order? Okay, can I have a motion on this order, please?
Motion to approve item 8.
Okay, seconded motion to approve the item for home occupation license being moved. Please call the roll.
Counselor Stillson?
Yes.
Crumpets?
Yes.
Dobos? Labrie?
Yes.
Okay, and the order has been approved 3-0 with Counselor Tillotson voting in favor via Zoom.
Motion to accept the minutes of July 11, 2023.
Motion to accept the minutes from July 11th, 2023. Any questions on those minutes? Please call the roll.
Counselor Stillson?
Yes.
Crumpets?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes.
And the minutes have been approved. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion seconded to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Counselor Stillson?
Yes.
Crumpets?
Yes.
Labrie?
Yes.
And we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming out tonight.